you think that there are more stories like that? Is there anything right now where you see a great story which is not yet tapped in the Indian equity context?
I think the places to look are in healthcare, because I think Indian healthcare is essentially a market we're going to see huge growth, because as people get discretionary. I mean, I grew up in India where there were people who never went to a doctor in their lifetime because they couldn't afford to go to a doctor. Hospitals, you had to drive around the city to find the hospitals. When I was in Chennai, 5 days ago, and you drive down Punamalai High Road, there are 16 hospitals and MRI centers. Clearly, people, as they have discretionary income, are able to spend more money on health. And we know how that plays out. In the US, 20% of the GDP is in healthcare, because as you get more prosperous and you get older, both of those will play out. So I think healthcare spending in India is going to go up. It's almost, the question is who's going to benefit from it, right? And the companies that are out there are trying, the hospitals, you have the health insurance companies that are starting to show up. That ecosystem is going to start to see more players. And I'd be very interested in India specific. But right now what we're seeing is players that replicate what you see in the Western markets, right? The insurance companies, the MRI, the diagnostics. But there's probably a version of a healthcare company that is tailored to India, which is going to be very different than the healthcare company you would create for a market like the US. 1 billion, 3 people spread out across a country where income is widely variable. There might be a healthcare model that actually is able to tap into that very different market. I haven't seen one, at least one that is public yet, but I've talked to people who have private healthcare businesses who are tapping into, hey, we're trying to build a healthcare company that's more attuned to Indian healthcare rather than try to replicate what you see in US healthcare. So I'm keeping my eyes open for one of those companies, because I think if you can find that space, that's potentially a 10-bagger, a company that could really do well.